So Justice, based dyan sa nababanggit nyo, the Senate has the sole power to try the case. Kasama ba sa power na yan yung power to dismiss?
Yes, to decide whether to grant, to acquit or convict.
Yes, pero yung to dismiss.
To
Without
dismiss,
trial.
kasama na yun
Without
sa ano.
trial. No? Ano sinasabi nila? It's a sole
Yun
power.
ang problema. It can dismiss it after trial.
Yes.
But there has to be a trial dahil sabi ng Constitution, trial shall proceed forthwith. So there has to be a trial.
But
Okay.
at the same time, one of the other problems is parang the Supreme Court is so bogged down with cases lately, no? I mean, apart from all of the cases filed related to this impeachment, meron pa pong yung pagdala kay former President Rodrigo Duterte sa International Criminal Court. They're also grappling. They're also grappling with issues over the budget, with the transfer of PhilHealth funds. You know, I wonder if you could give us some insider's perspective, Justice Carpio, on how they would be tackling all of this, in what order, priority, and what the deliberations would look like.
Well, the rule is, like for example, the one-year bar rule. May decision ng Supreme Court that it's triggered when the articles of impeachment are referred to the Committee on Justice. So, nag-file ng kaso si VP Sara saying that the one-year bar rule is being violated. But as long as there is no decision by the Supreme Court, the Senate, as an impeachment court, should continue
With the trial.
its proceedings.
Kasi may
Pag
jurisprudence.
walang TRO, no? Because there's already a decision When do you count the 1 year? From the time the article impeachment are referred. Hindi naman umabot doon sa House. Hindi naman nila nire-refer And per the reply of the House to the answer of VP Sara, if you count session days, because the Constitution says 10 session days.
Not 10 days.
In 10 session days, tama-tama On the 10th session day, the House submitted the 4th impeachment complaint signed by more than 1/3. So that supersedes any other impeachment complaint per the Constitution. So mukhang tama yung House, no? There is no violation of the 1-year bar rule. So, because
ko lang yung tanong,
hindi pa tumakbo yung 1 year Hindi pa umabot yung first, second, and third complaints to the Committee on Justice. So, the way I look at it, the Senate as impeachment court should just proceed because wala namang order from the Supreme Court stopping them.
But Justice, the defense's argument is that the purposeful delay daw of the Secretary General of the House of the three previous complaints is circumvention of the 1-year bar. In other words, talagang pinigil daw pinigil yung pag-usad ng complaints through the Speaker down to the Justice Committee in order to avoid or circumvent the ban.
It doesn't matter
that
because the
seemed to be
Secretary
the
is just
impression.
an
But
employee.
when the House submitted its reply to the answer of Sara, they laid down the 10 session days. They complied with the 10 session days because they have 10 session days to act. On the 10th day, they produced the 4th impeachment complaint signed by more than 1/3 of the members of the House. And that supersedes everything. That supersedes the first three. So there was no need to refer the first three complaints to the Committee on Justice because if there is a resolution of the House signed by at least 1/3 of its members, that automatically becomes the articles of impeachment to be submitted to the Senate.
At saka, di ba,
That
just
supersedes the earlier articles of impeachment.
Yes. At saka, di ba,
So
Justice?
let us say it was that 4th complaint was submitted to the plenary on the 11th session day. Yun may problema. Because the Constitution says 10 session days. Umabot sila sa 10th day
Yes.
But if they submitted it on the 11th session day, may problema sila.
Yes. Pero for the purposes of argument, Justice, just in case yung sinasabi ni Ed na na-delay dahil sa Secretary General. The Secretary General is not a congressman. He is an employee of Congress. So wala siyang power eh. Hindi pwedeng i-invoke na he represents Congress. He is an employee like any employee in Congress.
Yeah, ang sagot ko to, first of all, there was no delay because the Constitution says 10 session days and umabot sila sa 10 session days.
Yeah.
Assuming there was a delay for whatever reason, can the delay caused by the Secretary General be binding on the plenary?
Yeah.
Pag tinago lang isang employee yan, hindi umabot sa plenary, is the plenary bound by that negligent act or that misconduct of the employee? I don't think it will bind the plenary because that's a dangerous doctrine that pag inupuan yung paper o tinago, bound
Isang
na
empleyado.
yung plenary. I don't think that's a good doctrine, no?
But
Justice, follow-up ko lang yung tanong ni Red siya kasi sabi nga niya, ang lalaki daw nung kaso ngayon na mga controversies before the Supreme Court. Paano ba yan? Yung sinasabi niyang insider view niya, meron bang triage dyan?
You
Paano
must
yung
urgent.
inuuna niya yung mga kasong ano?
Ano yung pinaka-urgent?
Meron bang gano'n? Parang ER?
Although we also know na the Supreme Court tends to stay away from the political questions, so they don't want to
Yeah.
touch the
Oo
hot
nga,
potato.
paano yan? Paano yan? Marami ba kayong Tylenol doon sa Supreme Court?
Well, it's difficult to I don't know exactly what's happening there now, but I think they will decide at the proper time. And if they do not decide, they're not deciding now. It's because may prior ruling na eh. Andiyan na yung David Francisco case na yung 1-year bar rule starts when the articles of impeachment received by the Committee on Justice. So the message there is meron ng kaming decision dyan eh. Sundin na lang ninyo.